Hi, welcome to our Pilates Flow class. So this is the culmination of our in-person classes. We've been really focusing in on the principles of Pilates this term, thinking about our concentration, our flow, the precision of movement, about really taking all of our exercises from this powerhouse of the body, from these core muscles, and culminating with the flow. So this should feel like a really nice flow through exercises that you can incorporate hopefully into your kind of weekly schedule. It's nice and quick. It should feel lovely to do, but don't forget about really focusing that brain, focusing in on what parts of the body you're moving, what muscles you're doing, what muscles you're using to do the exercises, and just enjoy. It's a lovely sunny day today. So we're going to take our feet into our Pilates turnout position. This can be around about 10 to 2 or about 5 to 1 with those feet. The important thing is that as we start to bend through the knees in a little while, that we can take those knees out in line with that second toe. So just have a couple of goes just bending out, having a look at what your knees are doing. If it feels too much on the hips or your knees just don't want to go out that far, then you can just bring those toes in a little bit more towards parallel. So working with what feels right for your body, and as well taking those feet wider than hips today. But again, if you want them a bit narrower, take them narrower. If it feels good for you to go a little bit wider, then go wider. Do what feels right for your body. Now, as we come into this sort of slightly wider position, sometimes it makes our bottoms turn back, just sort of tilt back a little bit, that little tilt forwards of the pelvis. So we want to just tuck that tailbone under a little bit, drawing that pelvis into a neutral position. Lengthening up through the spine, keeping those knees slightly soft, but drawing up through the spine. Crown of the head is lifted, shoulders come down. We're thinking about that nice big belt around our abdominal muscles, so really squeezing those tummy muscles and those waist muscles in as if you're wearing a great big corset, and taking a slight lift of those pelvic floor muscles as well. And then turning our attention to our breath that we've thought a lot about during this term. And we're going to try and slow our breathing down a little bit, focus it into that rib cage. And we're going to try and use that slow inhale and that longer exhale to try and just calm the nervous system and get us ready for our practice today. So taking a nice big inhale into that rib cage for 1, 2, 3, and exhaling to squeeze the ribs back together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling again, 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Couple more breaths here in your own time, trying to take that inhale for 3 and that exhale for 5. I'm really thinking about elongating that exhale, and as you draw those ribs back together, drawing down into those deep tummy muscles, into those pelvic floor muscles, feeling that connection with those deep stabilizing muscles in your body. Take a little bit longer if you like, just taking those breaths, using that exhale to find that deep core connection. And when you're ready, we're going to take an inhale, grow that little bit taller. And with our exhale, we're going to slide our gaze and our chin around towards one side. Inhaling to the front and exhaling over the other way. Inhaling front to get a little bit taller, taking our exhale to take our chin to chest. This time as we inhale, we're going to take it back past center, lifting our gaze slightly, but taking it from the sternum to take a little lift up, squeezing those shoulder blades behind us and turning the palms to face the front of the room. And as we exhale, chin comes back towards chest, palms face backwards towards the back of the room, And then we let the shoulders just relax forward slightly. Inhale, find that lift from the sternum, roll that upper spine up, lift that gaze slightly without just crunching through the back of the neck. Squeezing those fingertips behind you now, really opening through that chest, and then rolling back down with that exhale. Taking it a little bit further now. Not yet flexing through the hips, but just rolling through that upper spine. Inhaling, taking that reach up. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you now. Pinch those little fingers towards one another as those palms face the front. And then exhale, turn those palms back. Relax those shoulders forward. And this time continue to roll down. Really finding some roundness through that upper and mid spine before you finally flex at the hips and come down towards the floor. Taking those hands as far towards the floor as you can. You might not get all the way down. Doesn't matter, just let that back relax. You can take those feet a little wider if you like, or you can take a bend through the knees. Enjoy that stretch. Use an inhale to exaggerate it. And with an exhale, we're going to lift our left hand, taking our elbow close towards our ribs and twisting our body, following that elbow with our gaze. And inhaling to come back down to center. Exhale to lift the right hand now, taking that elbow close towards the ribs, looking towards it with the rest of the body, finding that twist through the spine, and then coming back to center. We're going to do one more each side. This time follow with the gaze, and if it feels right for you and your shoulders, extend that arm so the fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. That right hand still reaching down towards the floor, and then coming back to center with your inhale. Right hand's lifting, elbows coming up. We're following with our gaze. Right hand extending up towards the ceiling. Left hand extending down towards the floor. And then coming back to center, taking a nice big inhale here. Coming a little bit lower with that back if you can, enjoying a bit of a stretch through the hamstrings. And then exhaling to just roll up. One vertebra at a time, scooping that pelvis back to neutral. And then rolling all the way up. Taking that nice tall posture here, taking an inhale, and with an exhale, we're just going to shift that weight over towards one knee. Lengthening the other leg out to the side and just stretching into that inner thigh. Inhaling up nice and tall. Exhale to the other side, and you can take a little bit of a lean forwards here. Take that nice straight spine from tailbone up to crown of the head and shift that weight over as far as you can so you feel that mild tension on the inner thighs. Inhaling up. One more time each side. Adding a little twist if you want to. Reaching down towards the toes and going into that sort of twist that we've just practiced in the center. Inhaling up. No need to add the twist if it doesn't feel right for you today, but leaning over towards that side, taking that weight all the way onto that bent leg, extending the other leg, and then taking the twist if you want to. Opposite hand comes towards the foot, other hand extends towards the ceiling. And then drawing back up to center. Taking a nice big inhale, taking those fingers towards the corners of the ceiling. Making that star shape with the body. Exhale, we're going to squeeze our elbows in towards our ribs and come into a sort of plie position. So nice straight spine. Don't stick that bottom back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then inhale up. Press into the glutes, press into the feet. Find that reach of the fingertips from the tummy muscles all the way up. Take that exhale to come down and that inhale to come up. This can just be a small dip of those knees, Or if you feel able to, you can really start to work into those knees and hips to come a little bit lower. And as those arms come in, really squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. One more time, exhaling down. Watching that those knees are still in line with the second toes. This time our hands circle around, come to our hips. We're coming down as far as feels right for us and that we can hold it. We're going to stay here and take a couple of breaths. Those thighs should be burning a little bit now. And if you feel able, we're going to start to take a little lift of one heel. Press it down. And then the other. Press it down. If it's getting a little bit too much on those thighs, feel free to come up slightly. If you want to work that little bit harder, we're going to take it even lower for the last couple, trying to keep everything above those hips as stable as you can. For 3, 2, 1. Squeezing up, taking a nice big inhale. Drawing those hands down to the center to that prayer position. Elbows are wide, shoulders are down. Inhaling nice and tall, straight spine. Exhale, we're going to take a twist just from the waist. Don't let those hips move. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center, keeping on going or extending the arms for a little bit more movement if you can. Taking those arms down, taking a little heel toe into the center, taking a nice big inhale up, reaching tall, sliding one hand down the trousers, lifting the other arm nice and high, feeling that stretch and work into the ribs. And now as we come up, I want you to try and leave your arm there and squeeze into the waist to come back up. Often we'll swing the arm and use the momentum of the arm. It's good for us to start to try and find those waist muscles. Finding that reach and bend. And again, just leaving that arm over to the side and working into the waist to draw back up to that center point. Taking a couple of rolls of those shoulders. And we're ready to get started with our flow. So we're going to come down towards the mat. Feel free to roll down, or you can just come straight down if it feels better for you. We're going to take the chin to chest, nose to chest, rolling down towards the floor. And we're going to come towards 4-point kneeling. So you can either just take a bend through those knees, walk those hands forwards and come straight towards 4-point kneeling. Or you can walk out towards a downward dog position. Find a little bit of a stretch. And then shift that weight forwards, drawing those feet back if you need to, towards a plank position. Holding here, taking a couple of breaths. And then lowering the knees slowly towards 4-point kneeling, ready for press up. Keeping those tummy muscles engaged, we're taking a nice big inhale to take our weight straight down in between those shoulders as if we're peering over a cliff. And an exhale to push up. The important thing here is keeping that absolute stability through that midsection. We're going to take a nice big inhale to lift one hand up towards the ceiling. And an exhale, we're going to thread that hand underneath and take a reach across, keeping the bottom high and reaching that hand as far as we can. If you can take that shoulder all the way down to the floor, then do, or keep it a little bit higher if that's what's better for you. Inhaling, finding that lovely reach. Exhale, threading under. Taking your inhale into the stretch here. Exhaling to come back to center. One more set of press-ups. We're inhaling down, focusing on that form. And we're exhaling up. If you want to and you feel you can control that form, you can take those knees back a little bit further. Don't let those tummy muscles dip, or you can always come up to a full plank press up. Whatever suits you. And then either way, we're coming back to our 4-point kneeling, taking a nice big inhale up to lift the hand and an exhale to thread it underneath the hand that's still on the floor. Taking that shoulder down towards the floor and reaching that hand as far across as you can to get a lovely stretch through the shoulder. One more time, inhaling up nice and tall, exhaling across. Taking your inhale into the stretch here. Your exhale to come back to 4-point kneeling position. And then your inhale to control that body down towards the floor. And coming down to the mat however suits you. If you can, just keep those tummy muscles high. And lower yourself all the way through a press up, then do. We're going to go into our dart position now. So taking an inhale here and an exhale to take a lift of the upper body. Maintaining that neck position, don't throw the neck away. Exhale, we're taking a lift, and if you can, we're floating the arms and reaching them towards heels. Inhaling down. Exhale, take that float and lift. If you want to work harder, we're going to squeeze those little fingers together at the back. Inhaling down. An option to include our double leg kick legs for the last few. So we're taking that exhale to lift the upper body. Inhale to seesaw down. Legs come in towards bottom for 1, 2. Exhale, they go long with control. Upper body lifts. Inhaling down. 1, 2. Exhale, upper body lifts. Final time, inhaling down. 1, 2. This time our legs extend towards the floor with control. Our arms circle all the way forwards. And we roll onto our sides, ready for our side kick. I'm just going to come up slightly here. I'm a little bit short of space. You can lie all the way down flat. Either way, we want to pull that waist away from the floor. Make sure those hips are stacked, big toes are even. Keep that shoulder away from the ear if we're up on forearms. Take an inhale here and an exhale to lift. Lengthening that foot towards the other side of the room, feeling that waist squeeze away from the floor even more. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. This time we're going to lift and hold. Option is just to stay here, squeezing that leg away, working into the waist, or we can take that leg slightly forwards with a point, flex the foot, and take it slightly behind us, trying to maintain stability through that pelvis. So don't let those hips rock backwards and forwards. Really squeezing into that hip, squeezing into that glute to take it into extension. One more time. And then drawing those legs together. Bring them in. Give your hip a little bit of a massage. And we're going to roll straight over for our pelvic stability exercise. So our feet are on the floor, knees are bent, hip width. Take an inhale here and an exhale to open one knee out towards the side with control, making sure the opposite knee stays stable. Inhale to draw it in, exhale to go to the other side. Inhale to draw it in. If you want to, you can progress to tabletop. One leg at a time coming up, squeeze those tummy muscles. One knee comes out, opposite side stays stable. Remember to keep breathing. Use your exhale to come down with control. Inhale to return. If you want to, you can extend those legs straight up, flexing those feet, taking one leg out to the side. Inhaling in. Exhale to go the other way. Inhale in. Whichever level you're working at, we're going to just finish this set. And then you're going to take one foot at a time down to the floor if they're not already. Take your arms either up and over behind you or out to the side in a T shape and take a nice big breath here. Just resting those abdominal muscles, opening through that chest again. And then we're going to roll over for our side kick. I'm going to roll back the way I came so that you can see me, but you're going to roll away towards the other side so that you're doing the opposite leg. So rolling back over onto your side. Arm can come forwards with a little block under your head. It can come all the way down to the floor, or you can come up to that forearm position. Squeeze that waist away from the floor wherever you are. Make sure that those hips are stacked. Take that inhale and exhale to lift. Bringing it down with your inhale. Lift and lengthen. Come down with control. Again, find that lift and lengthen. Try not to go too high. And the next time we're going to lift and hold, maintaining that height through the foot and the hip as we take the leg forwards. Flex the foot and take it back, squeezing into that glute. Keep pulling the waist away from the floor. Keep using your breath. Exhale forwards. Inhale back. Aiming for one more. And then closing those legs. Draw those knees in. Take a bit of a rub of that hip. And then we're going to roll over, ready for our double leg kick. So coming straight onto your back. Making sure you've got a little bit of space behind you to move those arms. We're going to make sure that our hips, knees and feet are all in a nice straight line, and use an inhale to lift those arms. Taking them straight up and over, back towards the floor as far as you can, circling them around and using an exhale to come back to center, straight up towards the ceiling. Inhale, arms go back, seeing if you can take them a little bit further towards the ground now. And just having a little moment to see whether that feels like it's pulling your back off the floor. Squeeze those tummy muscles so you've still got control of those ribs. And circle round. Option here to take legs up to tabletop if you want to work a little bit harder. Controlling those tummy muscles, making sure those ribs are not flaring. Option to extend both legs with the arms if you want to. Still having that awareness of the spine. One more time. Extending those arms, taking the legs with them if you want to, and then drawing those knees all the way in towards you. And take a little rock from side to side, massaging through that lumbar spine. Arms are coming down to the mat, extending towards the opposite wall. One foot at a time, coming down close towards your bottom, hip width. Feet nice and even. Take an inhale here. Exhale, take a pelvic tilt. Just taking that very lower part of the spine off the floor. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, taking that pelvic tilt, and this time beginning to roll further up the spine, taking it towards a shoulder bridge. Don't let those ribs flare up here. Keep control of those ribs. Keep control of those knees. Don't let them come in and out. And controlling that spine to come back to the mat. Working with your breaths, choosing just to roll up and down if that's what suits you today, or if you want to, you can lift those hips high and press through one foot at a time, to lift the heels. One heel comes up, the other heel comes up. Marching from side to side and trying to maintain the stability and the height through the hips at all times. Working on that flexibility of the ankles and feet that's so important for our balance. And then taking an inhale nice and tall and an exhale to roll the way down towards the mat again. Taking your inhale at the mat, exhale rolling up. Either going for a second set, or if you want to this time, you can stabilize those hips and take a lift of one leg to a tabletop position and then place it down with control. Making sure we've got stability through those hips. Other side. Marching from one side to the other. Maintaining that focus, maintaining that control. And the next time that foot comes down or that heel comes down, take an inhale with those hips high and an exhale to begin to roll back down. One vertebra at a time, controlling the spine back to the floor. Coming back to the mat, let that tailbone be heavy. Take an inhale here. And with an exhale, our right knee is coming in towards our chest. Our left hand is taking hold of that right knee to draw it in a straight line. And our right hand is coming straight down towards our shin, the front of our shin or our ankle. We're going to send the other leg long. I'm going to have to shuffle back a little bit here. Send the other leg long towards the opposite wall, just opening out through that hip. Take an inhale here, enjoying that stretch. And with an exhale, we're going to draw the opposite knee towards us and send the first leg long towards the wall, extending out, taking that switch. Making sure you draw that knee in with the opposite hand. And then we've got the option to continue going with those nice slow stretches, changing on an exhale. You've got the option to take a lift of the upper body, reaching from the sternum if you want to. And you have the option to take it a little bit faster if you want to too. Working into our one leg stretch. Keeping on going. If you've got that upper body lifted, keep reaching up towards the knees with the sternum. Keep that precision of the hand placement to make sure those knees are coming in a straight line. Again, slow it right down if you want to, or keep going with me with a faster switch for 3, 2, 1, and then draw both knees in towards you. Take a little rock from side to side. We're going to take an inhale and an exhale to take our arms to the floor, pushing our feet up towards the ceiling. And again, we're going to take that turn out of the toes, so they're in that sort of 5 to 1, 10 to 2 position. Heels are tightly together. And we're going to start to take a little crisscross of the legs, working into the inner thighs. We're working towards our more advanced boomerang here. So taking little crisscrosses with those legs, making sure we're not flapping from the knees or the ankles, working strongly into those inner thighs. And just taking that angle slightly lower if you feel you want to work harder, or keeping it straight up towards the ceiling if you'd rather. For 3, 2, 1. Option here to draw those knees in towards your chest and roll up to sitting, or just take those knees towards your chest and have a break. If you've got those legs crossed and you want to work towards more of a boomerang, you can take those legs down, reach that upper body. Oh, I almost didn't make it then. And find that balance. And then control it back down to the mat. Coming back towards lying, switching over, and finding that little switch again, crisscross position. If you were taking that rest, come back to our crisscross inner thigh work. If you worked through that half boomerang teaser position, then you're going to take that crisscross to the other side. Point the toes away. Take an inhale, exhale, legs go away. Upper body lifts up. Find that balance. Draw those knees in. And if you're still on the floor, either roll like a ball up to seated or push yourself up to seated. We're going to take a nice big inhale up. Exhale, we're going to draw those arms down, turn the palms to face the ceiling and reach the crown of the head forwards towards the spine stretch. Trying to take the arms behind us, so we're trying to reach with the crown of the head and not the shoulders. Take a little bend through those knees if you'd rather, if you're tight through the hamstrings. And then rolling all the way up to sitting. Drawing those knees in, soles of the feet together. Trying to take hold underneath your ankles. Drawing those feet as close to you as you can. And taking a nice big inhale here to sit up really tall on those sit bones. And an exhale to take those knees out towards the sides of the room. As you take those knees out towards the sides, feel those shoulders coming down away from your ears as well. Take some nice deep breaths here. We finish with some really strong work with that one leg stretch, with those crisscross legs towards boomerang. Just let that breathing come back to normal. And start to focus on that breathing again. Just unhook those hands, draw those knees back together, and then just come into a position that's comfortable for you. That might be legs crossed, it might be legs extended. I'm going to come into a legs crossed position. We want to be sitting up nice and tall still, up on those sit bones, crown of the head is lifted, shoulders down, and just returning to that breathing that we started with. Taking that inhale for 3 and our exhale for 5. Making that conscious effort to return the nervous system back to a calm state. Taking control of our breath, control of our body. And then just bringing those legs back together if they're not already. Taking a couple of shrugs of those shoulders. A little bit of a shake out. And you're all done. Well done, everybody. So we'll do another set next week. We'll go through another flow class. I'm just giving you a few ideas of how you can put a few exercises that we've been really focusing on together just to create a sort of quick routine that you can incorporate into your week. Well done, everybody, and hopefully see you next week. Bye.